Welcome to Mededia. This is Tariq. We're going to do another mock interview of one of Mededia mentee, Dr. Arslan Ahmed. Dr. Ahmed, how are you doing?
Good, Dr. Tariq. How about yourself?
Good, thank you. So go ahead, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh, thank you for giving me this opportunity. My name is Dr. Arslan Ahmed, and I'm currently working as the clinical trial coordinator for Comprehensive Neurology Services, which is a neurology basically company that is based in Frederick, Maryland. And I've completed my medical education and med school from Shifa College of Medicine, Islamabad. And other than that, I kind of have had this lifelong dream of pursuing a residency in the U.S., which was for one of those reasons I want to see myself as working as a physician in one of the most advanced healthcare systems in the world. Other than that, my hobbies include have a big passion towards sports, football and tennis and cricket. Two of those which I've played at national level, and yeah, that's about it.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. Which sports did you play at the national level?
I played tennis and cricket in itself, both of those. Yes.
Did you play them at the national level?
Yes, national level, both of them. So for tennis, I've actually played PDF and I've won two doubles tournaments. One of them was at the Barrytown Open Championship, which was 2 years ago. And other than that, about cricket, I actually play at a club level right now, but I was one of those, I was selected by, if you might have heard about uh, the Future Stars program, which was started a couple of years back by Wasim Akram and Imran Khan, which are two of our very well-renowned cricketers of Pakistan.
Interesting. So why not pursue a career in sports?
I'll be very honest with you. I did want to pursue a career in tennis when I started playing once, but there were certain limitations and certain, I would say, opportunities weren't as great. But that being said, that was not something that but my orientation was towards medicine, which started was when I was in high school. So I would definitely love to play tennis as a career, but since that didn't work out, and I kind of uh, it was something that I let go of in the midst of all that.
If you get a chance to switch to sports, do you think you would consider leaving medicine?
Oh, no, not really, not at this point now, because when I changed my orientation towards medicine right after I got out of high school, because that was when I actually figured it out. That my interest was more towards medicine as a career, as opposed to something that I previously wanted to do. But now that I look back at it, I don't think I would change my decision, because that is one thing that I've experienced firsthand. Med school, my internship at my home institute, and gaining clinical experience in the US. It has definitely been enlightening, and no questions about changing my career at this point.
Okay, interesting. And in your personal statement, you mentioned that you worked for a year in Australia. Can you tell me a little bit about that experience, please?
Yes, thank you so much for asking me that. So basically, out of my high school, A levels as we call it in Pakistan, I got the opportunity to pursue medicine, basically med school in Australia, because I did not actually get into medical school the first time when I applied, right after high school. So I got that opportunity, and I thought I'd make the most of it. Initially, I'll be very honest, I did not plan on doing that, but it was one of the best ranked universities in Australia, the University of Newcastle. But the thing is the way that they selected their their students is that the international students had to go through a foundation year. The foundation year was solely based upon a couple of subjects that you had to get high distinctions, like maintain really high grades. And after that, you had to undergo a personality evaluation test. So I did all of those. I got high distinctions in all the subjects, and I gave my interview and everything. But that being said, I'm sure you're aware of how competitive medicine is as a specialty anywhere around the world. So, and during that time, I used to work at a 7-Eleven. It was basically a convenience store where I used to work and like afford my expenses, because in itself the tuition fee for that foundation year was pretty hefty, and then after that the med school itself was so. But unfortunately, I did not get into that program, and but that did not stop me from wanting to pursue medicine again. That's why I reapplied into medical schools in Pakistan, and then I got accepted into Shifa College of Medicine.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
So you moved from Pakistan to Australia for medicine, and then you moved back from Australia to Pakistan for medicine. Okay. In your
Yes.
CV, you mentioned you have a certificate for tertiary preparation program
Yes.
certification. Can you tell me a little bit about that? What is that certification?
Yes. So that is exactly the course that I was telling you about, the foundation year. So that was the diploma I was awarded at the end of its completion.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I see you also worked in the SOS Children's Village in Islamabad. Can you tell me a
Yeah.
little bit about that? What
Oh
was your
yeah.
role?
For sure, for sure. So it wasn't based just solely once when I got into med school. I actually was an active part of it when I was in A levels in Roots. We used to actually organize trips, couple of people, 10 to 15, and we used to go to the school and their homes. We used to teach them, interact with them, different activities just to promote hygiene, social well-being, and importance of education. And my role in itself was more oriented towards sports. So I used to involve them in playing cricket and participating in these skits that we used to make that promoted health, so high hand hygiene, basic things. And then we used to distribute the gifts among them, like could be clothes, from shoes to sporting equipment to study material. It used to be a lot of mix of all those things. It was, I would say, um, a very nice and wholesome experience for all of us in A levels and then in med school, because we continued that on. It was something that we used to do as part of community service in our comment rotations as well.
Okay, interesting. I see you worked in Houston in a family practice clinic, in a cardiology
Yeah.
clinic, and you worked in, I believe, in a neurology clinic in Frederick as well.
Yes.
So among all these rotations, which one did you enjoy the most?
Well, first of all, because the first two ones were just they were a month long, but in itself very wholesome experiences, because those were the first time was the first time I actually gained clinical experience in the US. The second time around, because I did go unmatched the first time when I applied. So the second time around, I tried to make up for that by gaining more clinical experience. And this time it was much more longer. And for that very reason, I had like kind of would say it did help me a lot more, because it improved my grasp on like understanding the US healthcare system. It improved my understanding of health insurance policies, because at first they did not seem as coherent to me, being an international graduate. Other than that, I got exposure to different hospitals, running stroke codes, managing patients ranging from seizures, epilepsy, migraines. Some were simple, some were different, like I said, running stroke protocols and going rounding in the hospitals, working in a multidisciplinary team. So like alongside different subspecialties, and all those things. So it was definitely much more helpful in improving my clinical skills, my clinical experience in itself.
Okay. Why are you specifically interested in our program?
So I looked into because of the program in itself, and since I've worked in Shified Serving Humanity, which was um, basically welfare group that we created to improve healthcare services in the rural areas of Pakistan. And so that being said, I relate it in the way that being a community program, there's multiple a lot a patient population from like different backgrounds, different social circles, and that would definitely improve a lot. Would it help me improve as a physician in itself? And the training program in itself is amazing. It was ranked among the top 10 practicing hospitals by the Press Ganey survey, and that basically tells me that the physicians working there and the attendings working there, they are it's definitely a standout institution, which would definitely help me achieve my goals and my aims to improve me as a physician and develop my skills further.
Okay, thank you. What's your top three strengths?
Well, I would say my top three strengths, well, I would say number one would be leadership. I've worked in a role of representative for 5 years in medical school. So being a class representative involved me bridging the gap between the student body and the administration. They're carrying out different or kind of forwarding any concerns that the students had or any changes that needed to be made to the curriculum in that regard, and sorting out any um, like incidents or any miscommunications that occurred. So I used to kind of play a part in those things. And other than that, I would say I'm strong-willed, persistent, because there was one like because there were instances that I've where I've faced hardships throughout my goal to pursue residency and in the U.S. and my my career in medicine as well. So in all those things throughout, I persisted and moved like didn't let anything falter me. So that's one of those things. So and other than that, the third thing I would say would be that I wholeheartedly endorse teamwork. So being a part of the team or being part of a cricket team, like I said before, that was something that kind of instilled within me those properties of working in an environment which involves teamwork. So medicine in itself is based upon teamwork. Patients' individual care revolves around multiple different subspecialties, nurses, nurse practitioners. So that's something that I am very comfortable and very happy doing.
Okay. What's your biggest weakness?
My biggest weakness, I would say it would be the fact that I tend to overanalyze situations, which that sometimes does hinder my ability to work efficiently. I would elaborate on that a little bit, that we were required to put in notes for patients and histories and examinations while working as an intern in my home institute. So I used to go into all the details, their past medical histories, their examinations and everything. My peers and my seniors, on the other hand, they used to just take a focused history right there and then. It did take me a little bit of more time, but at the end of it, I was satisfied that I gave it my all in the caring for this patient.
Okay.
But I improved
Interesting.
that definitely.
Okay. Thank you. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Well, in 10 years, I would definitely want to see myself working as a physician in the US. With subspecialty or fellowship, I tend to lean a little bit towards cardiology, but I would say that I still am open towards experiencing the residency in itself and deciding then from there on. Yeah, definitely being successful because that's something that my parents have kind of envisioned for me, and I want to carry that out for them, for myself.
Why do you think you should be selected for residency?
Well, like I mentioned before, this the qualities that I possess and the experiences that I've had from multiple different backgrounds of patient populations. I would say Pakistan, Australia, and the US in itself. I've seen it from different perspectives, and that's something that I could add on to or help to add on to the program in itself. My communication skills, I would definitely say that I can easily convey in layman or simple terms to the patient whatever the pathophysiology is or what the treatment plan is. And I can work hand in hand with the team in the hospital, always being a team player. So those are some things that I think is definitely conducive towards a healthy work environment. And I would bring those skills of mine to the table.
Tell me one good thing that you liked about Australian medical system, Pakistani medical system, and US healthcare system.
All right. So for the Pakistani healthcare system, beginning from there, we initially, because we're not as well structured as the US and Australian healthcare system. But that being said, we have had limited resources at our disposal. And because of that reason, we have sharpened or improved our clinical skills to pick up findings and to pick up any pathologies which solely based on the clinical findings as compared to the US and the Australian healthcare system where we have advanced imaging techniques, advanced testing at our disposal. And that being said, our population in Pakistan, being a third world country, are less fortunate. So we have to base our plans according to their needs and their financial status and everything. So, but that has solely helped us improve that. And yeah, for that, I would say one of the things about the Pakistani healthcare system, when it's pretty easily accessible, where like can go and see any subspecialty or anything that the waiting times are not that long, and it's more accessible, I would say, to the general population. The healthcare system in Australia, very well structured. It's pretty much similar to what is in the UK as well. From what I learned in my experience, but definitely advanced. The way they teach their students, problem-based learning sessions. I was part of those, and that kind of improves their critical thinking abilities. Uh, about the U.S. healthcare system, it's one of the, I would say, model healthcare systems for all the countries in the world to actually adapt to. Um, from the structure, from the evidence-based medicine, from clinical research. So all those things kind of makes it pretty much superior to all of the healthcare systems. And yeah, and that's like the structure. It basically lays out the structure for all the other countries to pick up on.
And what's one weakness or deficiency in each of these healthcare systems, US, Pakistani, and Australian?
So for Pakistan, like I said, we're not that well structured. We lack in a lot of basic necessities of healthcare, being the facilities that we have, the number of hospitals that we possess, the physicians that are present there. I'm not saying that the physicians that practice here are not not good, but they could definitely learn from the much more advanced healthcare systems in itself. So the facilities, yes, definitely. That's one thing that we lack in the Australian healthcare system. I would again say the insurance policies and the long waiting times for people to actually see a physician. One of those things. In Australia, in America, I would say because if I've seen like I saw a lot of patients that came into the clinic were in the hospital who were in line or because of the insurance companies in itself. Yeah, so the insurance policies I'd say is one of the things that I would say needs to be improved in the American healthcare system, which could definitely help healthcare be accessible to a lot of patient minorities.
Okay. What time is it? Is it in Pakistan right now, Dr. Ahmed?
In Pakistan right now, it's 12:40 a.m.
Okay. What time do you typically sleep?
Uh, so that's the one thing that I've kind of learned being in the medical profession. My sleep cycle kind of varies from situation to situation. So right now, when my sister's wedding is there, and we were like kind of preparing for that, there's a lot of things that are going on. But I usually sleep around 2 to 3 a.m.
What
But
time do you wake up?
sometimes I wake up at if I sleep late, it would be around 10. But if I sleep early, it would be around 8, 9. But yeah.
Okay. Are you an early riser or no? Typically, if you have to
Oh, I'm
work.
an early riser, definitely an early riser. I've sort of learned to survive on less hours of sleep. And yeah, I wake up early, just grab a cup of coffee, get some caffeine into my system, and just be ready to go.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes. As far as I know about you, and I looked up and the information that like I kind of acquired for myself to talk to you about. Uh, we share a similar interest in cricket, and so I wanted to ask if you um, what do you think are the chances of Pakistan actually winning the World Cup that's coming in Australia?
I'm not very hopeful, unfortunately. And the reason is I feel like our middle order is pretty bad. We only win the games in which our openers, you know, flourish. But
Yeah,
other than that, if our openers are struggling, I feel like the entire team struggles. So that's a big problem.
the,
Yeah, we might be able to defend some lower totals because of strong bowling, but at the same time, I
yeah,
also feel that you know that shouldn't be the case that we're depending too much on our strong bowling or strong opening, and then if any time one of the openers or both the openers uh, they don't finish, then we're always struggling.
yeah. That's something that I agree upon definitely. And I would just wanted to ask how closely knit the program in itself is about learning. Is it solely one-on-one, or is it uh, like multiple people are like interacting with each other, or is it the attendees and the residents in itself?
So we have a combination of all of this. We have daily didactic lectures. We have grand rounds. We expect you to participate in those didactic lectures that happen during lunch hours. In addition, you will be working as an intern. You will be working with your senior resident and chief resident. We expect you to learn from them. You will be once you become a senior resident, and then you'll be spending some more direct time with the attendings. So we will be having a combination of all different forms of teaching. Um, we expect you guys to participate in an evening uh, case discussion among the first year interns. So you will have
Mhm.
that as well, which is on weekly basis. So like I said, it's a combination of all of them. You will be learning from your peers, you will be learning from your senior residents, and you will be learning from attendings, along with a set of didactic lectures.
That sounds wonderful. Uh, I looked at the Instagram pages and the Twitter space, how well it's actually the program promotes resident wellness, and it's amazing how they take part in different ongoing cultural festivals, and Danville in itself has like rich cultural heritage. It's like so it's very nice to see that it's something that is actually actively promoted by the program, and how all the residents are like a tightly knit
Yeah, absolutely.
family.
We as an organization try to do whatever we can to uplift the town. We're a small town, and we it's mainly a hospital town. We are the biggest employer in the area, and we try to make sure everybody has a good time, and we are able to take care of the community that we live in.
Yeah.
Any other questions for me?
No, no, that's it.
Okay, well, thank you much for interviewing with us, and I wish you good luck with the match.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tariq. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Sure, thank you. All right, feedback time. What do you think, Ahmed? How did you do?
एक तो ये लाइटिंग मुझे बहुत तंग कर रही थी, बिकॉज बीच में ठीक हो गई थी, फिर खराब हो गई थी. and मैं उसको बीच में मैं back of my mind मेरे वो भी चल रहा था, and then I was
You
trying
were trying
to
to
come up
juggle
with the
multiple
answer.
things. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, at
It's
the
okay.
same time.
Yeah.
But I did get stuck initially. फिर वो बीच में I would say a little bit. I tried to improvise on things. If I could. आपका feedback चाहिए मुझे. I don't really know.
Sure.
No.
So I'll be honest with you. Your your answers were okay. They were all right. I think probably because it's past midnight, so the energy level was a little down. That's okay. That's because probably the time of the night. Um, the biggest issue I had was, well, let me mention two more things. Eye contact was inconsistent. Sometimes you had it, sometimes you didn't. I'm sure you will
Right.
get better with time. Uh, at the end, when I asked you about what time is it in Pakistan, that was the time you kind of started smiling. Before that, you weren't smiling consistently. So smile and eye
Right.
contact, just practice a little bit more. One thing is,
Okay.
unfortunately, your lighting and the sound system is so bad that I had a very tough time hearing you. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you probably need AirPods and you're hearing echo, or if it's your mic. So the sound system was pretty bad, lighting was pretty bad. So if you can work on these things, it makes the interview a little more pleasant experience for the people interviewing you.
Right. Right.
Otherwise,
No,
it becomes
definitely.
it becomes a little tough for me to listen and understand, and that unfortunately decreases the overall impact of the interview. You
Mm-hmm.
might be doing the
Okay.
most phenomenal interview, but if you're having technical issues, video quality is not good, internet is not good, it is possible it might be
Right.
because of bad internet, and mic is not good, then all these challenges can happen. I'll say try practicing smiling more and
Okay.
maintaining the eye contact. Your answers were okay. Just probably practice it with a little more confidence, a little more energy, with a smile.
Yeah.
The rest was
Yes, it
fine.
was. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Tariq. I will.
I hope you all learned something from this mock interview. If you did, please like it, share it with others, and subscribe to the channel. And like we always say, never give up, never lose hope. Bye.